What is going on, everybody? Today we got a brand new build coming at you. This one, I don't really have a name for it yet, but it's a Venom build. You're going to be doing a lot of damage over time. You're also going to be critting a lot. Overall, this is probably the best melee build I have done so far. I've experimented with a lot, with the pinch whacker, all that. But this one right here, this is the best in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm running. I'm going to show you how it does in combat, show you my mutations, all that good stuff. You guys can try it out for yourself. Tell me what you think. Without further ado, let's get on into it. It's a relatively simple build, not super expensive. The hardest thing getting for this build, I would say, is, for me personally, the icicles. I use the icicles. You don't have to use them if you don't want to, but I do think they're one of the best weapons in the game right now. And then this trinket right here, you guys probably have had a lot better luck than I have. I only have one of the stabby stingers. They drop from the northern scorpions, the full grown ones, and I just got this recently. So I only have one of those. You guys probably have better luck than I do, so hopefully you got one of these. If not, it looks like you're going to be grinding some scorpions for a while. Let's go over the build real quick though. To start off, the headpiece, body, and wolf leggings, they are all interchangeable. You can change the leg pieces to be the wolf headpiece and the scorpion piece to be the leg pieces. It's completely up to you. I have it set up like this because I think he looks cool like this, Sir Pete there. It's all rogue armor, so you're getting a decent crit hit chance for your final hit. And this all, like I said earlier, revolves around Venom buildup. So I am taking the Northern Mask for double deal here. It increases the damage you deal to enemies afflicted by Venom. If I were you, when going down either a sleek or a non-sleek path with the Northern armor in general, if you're trying to do your own build or anything, don't waste the resources on sleeking it. Just take the extra defense and resistance, because your sleek path is gonna be fleet creep. It's a perk that just lets you crouch walk quicker, and that's completely useless right now. Black Ant arm guards, you are gonna want to have one piece of Black Ant armor. You don't have to have crit hyper stamina. I'll probably remake this and not sleek it. Crit hyper stamina is the sleek path, and I'll explain why I wouldn't sleek this if you're running this build. You're mainly going for the parry criticals here to get that extra crit chance when you get a perfect block. And the main weapon we're running, or all three main weapons we're gonna be running, are all weapons that are pretty reliant on getting a perfect block. So if you're not good at perfect blocks, you're gonna have to get some training in there, and you'll probably catch on very, very quick. I have a video covering perfect blocks and the method I use to get perfect blocks almost every single time. But yeah, I'm just doing it for the parry criticals here, and it's a rogue armor. Crit hyper stamina, that's the sleek path, and I don't really need that. I'll probably remake this later on. Finally, we got the wolf leggings. Once again, rogue armor, venomous dasher. Dash strikes using dual weapons inflict venom buildup on hit. The reason I'm taking these over the axle armor, which the axle armor's sleek path perk is gonna be like an ambush perk. I have it in here, so let's go check that out real quick. The axle armor's sleek path perk is venomous ambush. Deal venom to creatures you ambush. The reason I'm taking the wolf leggings, which is just basically the same thing, but you have to do a dash strike and it doesn't give immediate venom but venom buildup, is when you ambush a creature, it does not cover the category of neutral or harmless. It only covers angry creatures and orc creatures. And to be fair, it is kind of hard to ambush an angry creature at times, depending on which one you're going for. And I want that venom buildup just for the crickets here, potato beetles, and ladybugs. I mean, all those are neutral creatures, and they kind of have the chance to hit you like a truck. Same with a cockroach. So that's why I'm taking Venomous Dasher over the Venomous Ambush. The Ambush will only proc on Angry, where this will proc on literally everything in the game. And then I got Hyper Stamina here. Regain stamina faster. That's the Sleek Path perk you get for the Wolf leggings. And that's why I said earlier, I don't really need crit hyper stamina, and why I kind of regret sleeking this, because crit hyper stamina is just going to make critical hits increase your stamina regen faster for a short amount of time. But you're not going to, it's going to be like diminishing gains at that point, or diminishing returns at that point of hyper stamina plus crit hyper stamina. And if you're running like this right here, Cardio Fan, that's going to be even less diminishing gains. And finally, for our trinket, we got the Stabby Stinger. I kind of went over it earlier. This was a real pain for me to get for some reason. The Scorpions were just not wanting to drop it. You do get it from Scorpions. The full-grown ones, like I said earlier. All it does is make the last hit in your 3-hit combo add Venom. So as you can see, what we're doing here is we're just trying to get as much Venom buildup on an enemy as possible. You're going to be doing even more damage to said enemy with the Northern Mask. You're going to be getting criticals with the Black Ant Arm Guards to do even more damage. And then you got Venomous Dasher here, which lets you start off any fight with an initial Venom buildup. If you want to experiment around with this build, feel free to do so. I kind of think this is the best one to have, just because in any sort of melee combat you're going to be getting perfect blocks fairly frequently, and you're going to have more opportunity to get critical hits off to deal more damage. But if you wanted to try 2 Northern pieces, or a Northern and a Mantis, I know some people like the Mantis armor, just because you can do quicker hits. That's completely up to you. Let me know how it works if you enjoy that build, and I'll probably check out something too. This is, as I said earlier, the best build I've made right now, but I am still experimenting with it too. So I'm always curious to see what other people think. For your weapons here, Wolfsbane's daggers. These are primarily going to be your main weapons to fight with. I have mine with the Sour, and that is because very few things are immune to Sour right now, and Sour is fairly decent to lower like the armor rating or the armor quality. I don't know, it just makes enemies take more damage. You got Venom Attack. It builds up Venom when you attack with these daggers, and it is a very quick 3-hit combo. So, like I said earlier, you're kind of probably already seeing the theme here. You're gonna just be building up a lot of Venom, dealing extra damage to them. The Venom's dealing damage to them, and they're gonna be getting ticked for a lot of their health very quickly. Finally, we got the Icicles. This is just for those enemies that are weak to fresh damage. Crickets, potato beetles, ladybugs, bombardier beetles, all of them. And finally, I'm using the Mantis Blade. This is my spider killer. I have it spicy. I'm choosing this over the Coltana. Mine is maxed out. I don't really want to compare it to my Coltana right now because my Coltana's not maxed out, and it wouldn't be fair to compare it to it. But just going off base stats before I maxed out the Mantis Blade, the Mantis Blade does higher stun, while at the same time the damage, speed, and critical are right about the same, if not the same. Moving on here into the mutations, we got Ambush for the Ambush ability. This is pretty much, everybody knows you need this on when doing a melee build, especially one like this. And ambush attacks with daggers deal extra damage. So I get that bonus for Angry. You don't get it for anything that is not Angry. I got Natural Explorer on just to run quicker, Trapper Peeper on. If you don't have Trapper Peeper, you can take really any other perk. I would probably suggest taking another resistance perk or your first resistance perk if you don't have one on. And then I have Fresh Defense. In my opinion, this is the best resistance perk, just because all other perks here, they cover one specific one. This one covers Venom, Tang, and Chill. Fresh Defense, for some reason, covers not only sizzle / burn, but also gas damage. So that is probably the best resistance one in my opinion. As far as perks that you need to have, Ambush, that's really the only one. And if you have Trapper Peeper, put on Trapper Peeper. If you don't like the Stabby Stinger for whatever reason, you can change it out. I'll show you here in a second. I use it because like I already showed you, the build we're kind of running here, everything is going to be affected by Venom very quickly. And this is just going to keep it consistent. It's going to consistently give Venom. This is consistently giving Venom, and you're consistently doing more damage to them with the mask. The only things I say would be interchangeable with this build would be right here, the Axle Trinket drop. Raging Venom. Critical hits apply Venom that persists. You could try to change it out. If you do that, I would suggest changing out the leggings. I would honestly take another armor piece such as Black Ant. Probably, in my opinion, if I were going to do it, I'd take Black Ant leggings just because of this perk right here, to give you the increased chance of more criticals. If you're going to run Axle, it's kind of a gamble of when you're getting that crit off. So any other armor piece that you could throw on for the leggings that increases your chance through an ability like Parry Criticals does to get that to proc, I would do that instead. But without further ado, we are going to head into the new garden area. That's where the really beefy enemies are. I've made it through the entire story so far. So if you have not, or if you haven't even made it to the garden area, feel free to click off now. There will be spoilers in the garden area for you. If you haven't completed the entire story up until this point, and you don't want to see the garden area, feel free to click off as well, because when you complete the main story, there are certain things that change about the garden, and I don't want to be the one to spoil that for you unless you want it to be. Okay, so we have a potato beetle here.
Farewell, my friend.
It's a fairly chunky enemy. I'm going to send away the spider. He does nothing but get in the way. And we're going to go ahead and test it out. With any neutral enemy, always start off with the dash strike. I'm sure you're already doing that. As you can see, already afflicted by Venom here. He's going to hunker down. Quickly pop off one of these again. Looks like he's coming to attack maybe. Perfect block that. Even with the regen, I'm just going to kind of tank through this, because I don't think that I really need to block that much. Just got a crit off there. Not the fastest one it could be. He blocked quite a bit there. But you kind of get the gist of it. We got a cricket and a potato beetle now. What a godsend. So for the cricket, they are weak to fresh. I forgot the potato beetles are weak to fresh too.
Right?
So that could have been even quicker. That was with the daggers out. But yeah, crickets are weak to fresh. So this being a dual weapon, you're still going to get that venom buildup, and every third hit you're going to consistently apply venom. So let's see how this works. He's already basically at 1/3 health, and I don't know where he went, to be honest. I really don't like the cricket's moveset, to be honest. This jumping thing is really annoying and buggy in this area. Okay, I'm just gonna let him do his own thing. I'm not going up there to fight him. Potato beetle's over here. This one's hitting the stanky, so we'll take him out. No dancing in the park, man. Oh, he's mad about that rule. Hate to break it to you. Alright. Extremely quick fight now that I brought out the correct weapons to fight him with. Even with the wrong ones on, it was still very quick. You could see he was being affected by Venom at one point. Frozen, he was just getting the whole shebang happen to him. So what I've seen from this build, running around testing in my own time, is it is very good against earwigs. So if earwigs are something you struggle with, definitely give this build a try. They are weak to sour, and I think they are resistant to spicy or something. But yeah, they are weak to sour, and with the venom buildup as well, they go down really quick. Yeah, sour and spicy. So we're gonna go ahead and show this off real quick. And that is the whole fight for you. That's kind of why I like the venom buildup on them, because they do block a lot, and they're still going to be taking damage, so I don't feel too bad. They can hunker down all they want. All that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the build. If you have any questions about it, or have any ideas of your own, feel free to comment them, anything like that. I'll be sure to check it out and give a response once I look into it. Besides that, I hope everybody has a good rest of their day and that they enjoyed the video. Peace out.